So, hello there. If you don't know me, then I don't know why you're here. You're probably gonna say something rude for no reason. That's okay. Last night, insomnia was making me its bitch, as it always does every single night. So, I decided, to shitpost in the Cut for Zayn tag, which I suppose was a mistake, but come on. Yeah. I'm not gonna bash on One Direction because I do not care about One Direction. Sorry, I don't care about bands in general that brainwash teenage girls. I'll get to that later though. So, um, I happen to be someone who enjoys self-harm. I enjoy the feeling. I like doing it for sexual things, etc. And I just so happen to have a picture on my phone of some self-harm that I had done recently. So I posted it, and I posted the Cut for Zayn hashtag on it, and I did not anticipate that 100 people would comment in like 2 hours. I didn't even anticipate it at all. I didn't think anyone would pay attention to it, because the description I attached to the picture was grammatically incorrect. It was, every single word was spelled wrong, even if it was just a one-letter word. I spelled it wrong. I don't know how anyone could have taken it seriously, but 300 people ended up berating me for it, basically. So, yes, I'm willing to acknowledge that what I did was triggering, but yeah, I'll talk about triggers later. Anyway, interesting phenomena with these comments. Now, I'm not sure what goes through your mind when you decide to track a tag full of mutilated arms and emo kids trying to be inspirational, but why would you even track that tag? Why would you search that tag every 5 minutes to see if there's any new photos just to scream at people who are if someone is suffering from a mental illness, you don't scream at them and call them retarded and tell them to kill themselves because their problems are insignificant. What seemed to be happening was there were the people who were all like, oh my god, don't do this. If you really loved Zayn, you wouldn't do this. And I didn't even read that shit because I don't care about One Direction. And then there were most of them were insulting me, calling me a psycho, calling me stupid, calling me retarded, telling me to kill myself, calling me pathetic, saying they were laughing at my self-harm, which I thought was entirely amusing considering they didn't read any of the previous comments where I said, hey guys, this is a joke. Even if I told them it was a joke, they continued on. They were like, you shouldn't be making fun of self-harm. And I'm just like, why? Why not? If you weren't romanticizing mental disorders in the first place, I think you'd think it's pretty funny too. But, yeah, here we go, segueing into the emo kid comments. Two kinds of emo kids commented on my picture. The kind that were, how do I describe this personality type? They like pretend they're superior to you, and like they have the personality of like a dominant vampire anime character guy. Like they talk kind of like that. I don't know why people do this. Like really makes me uncomfortable, to be honest, but that was happening. And they were calling me pathetic and saying that I was going to be a victim of natural selection. I don't know they don't know what that word means. I am actually sure they don't know what it means, but they used it a hell of a lot. And then the other ones were saying that anyone who cut over One Direction didn't have a legitimate reason to be cutting, and it's not nice to be making fun of people who have actual reasons to be hurting themselves. What is an actual reason? Your mommy didn't let you get a lip piercing or dye your hair some pukey color. Well, what is an actual reason? Most kids with flippy hair and tight pants don't have any actual problems. They give themselves problems because their parents are quote-unquote terrible. No, your parents are just trying to save you from looking like a fucking idiot and making terrible choices, okay? Accept it. But yeah, it was like a war between like swaggy people and emo kids, and it was really confusing because, I mean, first of all, if you're gonna cut yourself over someone leaving a band, you obviously have a few mental problems. You should probably be taken to an institution if you're that fragile. So yeah, that's kind of a legitimate reason. You're crazy, maybe. That's a legitimate reason. You need help, okay? Legitimate reason. Decapitating dogs. You should be put in jail. I don't. Go to jail. Go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. And I'm not even going to talk about that. I don't even know if more people decapitated their dogs for this. I don't know who would want to start. Like, I don't know. If 4chan decided to tell people to decapitate their dogs, then that's awful. Why would you do that? That's fucking whatever, 4chan. Yeah. But, okay. I guess the main point of this video is just legitimate reasons. Come on. That's some fucked up shit to say. Also, telling people who obviously are mentally unstable that they're stupid and retarded and pathetic and they should kill themselves and all that junk. What's wrong with you? That's just fucked up. Like, what I did was pretty rude, but that's just fucking stupid and horrible. Why would you do that? Like, obviously, if someone's fragile enough to slit their wrist over someone leaving a band, you shouldn't be calling them pathetic and telling them, like, pushing them to suicide. That kind of defeats your entire cause. And you might be edgy enough to say, oh, well, One Direction is a shit band and I hate all their fans and the more of them die, the better. Well, that just makes you an asshole and a fucking dumbass. So, come on, why? Why you gotta be like this, dude? The point is, to put it in perspective, everyone has a legitimate reason to self-harm. What's actually stupid about this whole fucking thing is people who romanticize mental issues, who pretend to have mental issues, are the ones fighting about it being illegitimate. Now, please, if you can think of like 5 emo kids that have legitimate reasons for cutting themselves other than some neckbeard called them fat or mom wouldn't let them do something, please, by all means, correct me if I'm wrong, but every single emo kid I've met, only 2 of them were abused, and I've met quite a few hundred of them in my real life, okay? The subculture itself is based around pretending to have shit wrong with you so you can fit into a stereotype, and it's also about false individuality. So yeah, I mean, emo kids are not really any different from One Directioners or Justin Bieber fans or anyone who listens to shitty radio music, okay? Neither of you are, you're exactly the same, okay? You're the same. You both are obsessed with people who have brainwashed you to get your money, okay? You are not individuals. You probably have no thoughts of your own that aren't based off of some guy who played Warped Tour and molests little kids, okay? I'm just saying, there's no fucking difference between you two, and you're having a war over why self-harm is legitimate or not. It's just kind of idiotic. Who are you to tell people what their struggles are? This is entirely hypocritical. No one understands you, no one gets you, that's why you hurt yourself, right? People try to force their problems onto you, people try to tell you what's wrong with you, and the only thing you can do is slit your wrists, right? That's exactly what you're doing, isn't it? So, yeah, that concludes my... I don't know, was this really a rant? Whatever.